What's up, old school homies? Let's talk about jammers versus non jammers. This is something I had to figure out on my own, but now that I know it, I kind of, mm, I kind of group people into jammers and non jammers. Yeah, sorry to say, but not everybody plays music the same way. A lot of people read it straight off of a page. They could actually read sheet music. Some people know songs, and some people just make stuff up, which would be like the jammer. Now, it's not like one can't do the other, and that was my first misconception, was that everybody can do both, but they can, and a lot of times they don't work on it. You know what I mean? There's different ways that people group how you learn music or how you play music, and they could affect the outcome of being able to work with other people who don't work the same way. So, jammers are basically people that don't do cover songs. They don't read sheet music most of the time. It's not impossible that a jammer can read sheet music, you know, like Steve Vai. He can read sheet music, and he's kind of a jammer to me. He's pretty free spirited and does whatever he wants. So, classical musicians, not typically jammers all the time. They could, they really could. I had this friend, he was a professional viola player, and after he was done with his orchestra, he would come over and listen to his orchestra because he would sit his cell phone on the floor and record the whole thing. So then he would come home and listen to the whole thing. And he always brought his viola in the house because it's made of wood. You can't just leave it in your trunk. Never took it out, really. And I always thought, man, it must just kill him inside to just leave it in the case and not feel like jamming at any moment. I mean, don't you just feel like jamming? No. You know, he had the orchestra. That was music for him. Jamming was kind of faux pas, I would say. Not totally, but he just didn't see music that way. He said you have to count. A lot of people that play classical music will count and play notes on the count. Jammers probably less likely to be doing that. You're free to do whatever you want whenever you want. But to a classical musician, you're obviously going to be off time to someone like that. So they're not inclined to be off time all the time if they're a timed musician, you know what I'm saying? And then you have people that only play cover songs. This is also not a jammer, really. If you can only play other songs, you basically have to find other people that can play those songs or know those songs. And you're going to get really limited right then because other people are going to have different tastes. Maybe you're older and you're playing with a younger guy. They're not going to like the same music as you. So I find learning songs to be pointless in my experience. It's just not for me. Like, I can make songs myself, but to do a cover song, I just don't care, you know? Like, and here's the thing, people are gonna say, unless you can play a song, you don't play. It's just wrong. Like, you're just fading people to not be creative. The thing about making your own music is it takes forever and it's difficult and it's arduous. And you sit there and hear what you want to hear and then try to repeat little things until you can build something up. It's not like you're just gonna, oh, I heard that, I play what I heard, you know? It's not like that. And that's where people are basically gonna fall off and say that jamming is noodling. You'll hear that a lot. Oh, you're just noodling. Eh, that's basically just putting down a jammer, you know, saying that they just noodle. And it's true, if you're a jammer, you probably noodled for quite a while before you ever sounded like anything. it still doesn't mean that it's noodling because you're not reading it off a paper or someone didn't already come up with that song. It's just definitely a skill of its own. And I've taken a few people that aren't jammers and tried to force them to jam. Let's not talk about it.